Hello everyone, Dartt here. And if you haven't played Magic lately, you might want to think about getting into it because, as you can see, the dailies are looking very, very rewarding. 120 gold coins for each daily. You let them stack up. That's 360 coins. You can buy some packs with what you can earn in one playthrough session. So that's what we want to do today. I think we want to knock out some dailies. Let's see what we have to work with. Win 2 games where you cast a white or blue spell. Win 2 games where you cast a blue or black spell. And put 15 tokens onto the battlefield under your control. Okay. I don't know about the tokens, but we can definitely knock out the white, blue, black, blue thing. So without further ado, let's put a deck together and get something done. Okay, we've got a deck, and I went ahead and put together a white-black life drain deck. It's got, as I said, some we gain life, they lose life effects, some renown, some landfall, awaken shenanigans, all sorts of stuff just to screw with our opponent. Let's go ahead and set this on hard and get to it. Okay, looks like we get Fire Boy. He's got like fiery hands and fire running all over his clothes and fiery eyes and a mohawk. I don't know what the mohawk has to do with anything, but whatever. Let's see what kind of opener we get. We get 2 Forsaken Sanctuaries, Stalwart Haven, Patron of the Valiant, Unholy Hunger, Grieved Soul, and Sheer Drop. Let's see if we can do better on early game. We get 3 lands. Yes. Much better. Let's keep this. Okay. We got a tap land, a swamp, and a plains. Let's go ahead and play the tap land first. That way we can get the free blade into play next turn. Our opponent plays the red mana source, a mountain. No surprise there. We draw into a planar outburst. A 5-cost sorcery that'll destroy all non-land creatures, and it has Awaken 4. If we pay the Awaken cost, we can put 4 1/1 counters on a land we control. Let's go ahead and play the Plains and the Free Blade. Hopefully he doesn't play a blocker and we can get the Free Blade renowned. Nice. And we draw into a Child of the Night, a 2-drop, 2-cost, 2/1 with lifelink. Very good for us. Let's go ahead and play the swamp. Attack. Free Blade has vigilance, so it doesn't tap to attack. Take 2 health away from him. Let's go ahead and play our Child of the Night. Stay on curve here. and see what our opponent wants to do. It's a third mountain. What do we got? There's a lightning axe. One red instant. It's an additional cost to cast lightning axe. Discard a card or pay 5. Deals 5 damage to target creature. Well, that's expensive. Alright. Draw into another swamp. Let's go ahead and attack with our vampire, our child of the night. It'll bring us up to 22 and him down to 16. Okay. Let's go ahead and play the Stalwart Avon. We draw into a sheer drop. 3-cost sorcery, which allows us to destroy a tapped creature. It has Awaken 3. I don't think... No, we don't have quite enough to use the Awaken effect just yet. So we'll hold on to these. But, since our opponent has no blockers, let's take full advantage of that. Yeah, I guess Wizards of the Coast is definitely fighting back hard against Blizzard's launch of Whispers of the Old Gods, offering tons of incentive to get some games in. Looks like our opponent plays a Pyrehound, a 4-cost 2/3 with Trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, put a 1/1 counter on Pyrehound. Okay. We can deal with that. Not the end of the world for us by any measure. And here comes another Topin Freeblade. But if we cast the Freeblade, we will not have enough to use the sheer drop. I'm thinking it may be smartest to go ahead and attack with the Avon, leaving that tapped. That way it induces an attack. That way we can use our sheer drop on the following turn. Let's go ahead and do that. We skipped attack. Oops. Not what I wanted to do there. Definitely not the best play we could have made. Oh well. Here comes another Pyrehound. And we draw into Patron of the Valiant, a 5-cost 4/4. When Patron of the Valiant enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with a 1/1 counter on it. Obviously, counters were kind of a little bit on my mind this morning. Okay, how do we want to work this? Still don't have enough to make use of this. And we're a little ways away from making full use of the sheer drop. Not even close on this one. Let's go ahead. Play the Freeblade, that way in case he attacks with both of these, we can turn right around and trigger the Vigilance on, or trigger the Renown on our other Freeblade. And pass the turn. He's playing red, so you gotta guess he's got some burn. Or Traitorous Instinct. That works too, I suppose. I'm guessing he'll attack with all of that. No? Just the Child of Night. We'll skip blocking. We're going to get that back anyway, so it makes more sense for us just to go ahead and keep it. We draw into a second Child of Night. Go ahead and play it as a potential deterrent. And pass the turn. Aha, here comes the attack. He's going to swing at us for a 6. We will go ahead and take it. And he plays Incorrigible Youths. A 5 cost, 4/3 haste, madness 3. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost or put it into your graveyard. Okay. It's a vampire. We draw into a Bloodbond vampire. 4 cost, 3/3. Whenever we gain life, put a 1/1 counter on Bloodbond vampire. Very nice. We plan on gaining some life here, so let's get that into play. And we can attack with both of these children, force him to make a choice, and give ourselves a 4/4 blocker. Or we can play the waiting game. Let's go ahead and wait. We can afford to pick a better spot. Just gonna swing with the 4/3. That's fine. We will go ahead, since that's what he wants to do, and double block. We'll lose both of them, but it gains his health rather than losing health, and we get the counter anyway. That puts that up to a 5/5. And here comes a Breakneck Rider. 3 cost, 3/3. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform it. It turns into Neckbreaker. Oh, I see what they did there. No, it's definitely looking like Wizards wants to definitely aggressively pursue staying competitive with Wizards, offering that many coins for daily quests. So, definitely something to consider. We are looking good on the patron. If we could just get this one renowned. We don't want to attack with this just yet because they'll double block it and kill it. So let's attack with the Aven and induce its attack. And we can actually cast this for the Awakened now. Let's go ahead and do that. It gives us a tapped 4/4. We're going to go ahead and attack with the Aven, which should pump this up to a 6/6. Here comes another Traitorous Instinct. On the Free Blade? Really? You want to give me... Oh, sure. I'll trade 4 life for a Renown. That was so silly. Apparently our opponent doesn't have any clue what we're trying to pull off here. We draw into a Malakir Cool Blade. This is a 2-drop 1/1. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Malakir Cool Blade. We'll go ahead and play it. And I'm thinking we will also play the second Ondu Rising. Wait, no, that would be bad since we can't awaken with it. We'll hold off on that. But we will swing with the Aven again, which will bring this up to a 7/7. This vampire is going to get bigger and meaner the longer we go here, so that's just fine. Nah, it didn't gain anything because we didn't cast the Ondu Rising. Ah, well, whatever. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. Here comes another vampire, a Blood Mad Vampire. 3 cost 4/1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, put a 1/1 counter on it, and it's Madness. 1 colorless, 1 red. Okay. So it can be cast as an instant. And we draw into a Reeve Soul. Power 3 or less. We've got one option that we can use that on. Yeah, I know. That hard removal is just burning a hole in my pocket, isn't it? Well, yes it is. Let's use it. It pumps our Cool Blade up. It puts us in a good spot for playing our Patron of the Valiant next turn. And while we're on the subject, we'll go ahead and attack. We still have a sheer drop to use here too, so that could be entertaining. Let's see what's coming our way. A Firehound. Another one. Okay. We draw under a Reprisal. Destroy. It's a 2-cost instant that allows us to destroy target creature with 4 power or greater, and it cannot be regenerated. I think the most fun thing to do, though, Let's go ahead and play the Patron of the Valiant. And watch every creature we have get bigger. Because that's a fun thing to do. Let's attack with the Aven. Put our opponent down to 8. And see what the next turn brings. And it brings a Voldaren Duelist. 4 cost, 3/2, Vampire Warrior. Lots of red vampires. Who would have thought? I would have figured they'd all be black, but Wizards of the Coast did something here. As haste, when it enters the battlefield, target creature can't block this turn. Interesting. Be drawn to a Consul's Lieutenant, a 2 cost 2/1 for strike renown 1. Whenever it attacks, if it's renowned, other attacking creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Yeah, well, we could do that. Or I could reprisal one of his Pyre Hounds, which I think we will do. And he is in a world of trouble. I'm going to swing with the Aven one last time. I'm going to swing with this. Nah. We should be set for a win next turn anyway. And here comes the 3/2. Well, how do we want to deal with this? I guess we just block with the land. I'm guessing he has some sort of burn or something. Rush of Adrenaline. Target creature gets +2/+1 and gains trample until end of turn. Okay, but really? A little bit of a misplay there, don't you think? Alright, whatever, that happened. Alright, well, he's down another creature. That was pretty silly on the AI's part. Well, let's see what happens when we do this. Makes that Plains a 9/9. I'm thinking we just go ahead and swing with everything. For the win. And that's game. All right. Okay. For our next matchup, we get this dude. And I don't even know what to call him. He is just that guy. He's like got eyebrows for days. I guess that's what we'll call him. We'll call him Eyebrow Dude. Let's see what kind of an opening hand we get. We get 2 lands, Swamp and an Isolated Chapel, a Free Blade, Knight of the Pilgrim's Road, reprisal, a Reeve Soul, and a sheer drop. Well, we've got nice low-cost stuff to play. We've got some removal that we can cast, and if we draw into one more land, we're pretty much set to cast everything that we have in our hands, so we'll go ahead and keep it, just based on that. Our opponent plays a Sunpetal Grove, a white-green tap land. Ah, good. We draw into a third land. Let's go ahead and play... Well, no. The Isolated Chapel we can cast next turn untapped, so let's go that route. We'll play a Plains, and that'll be our turn. And a Plains from our opponent. And a Duskwatch Recruiter. 2 cost, 2/2 Werewolf. You can spend 3 mana and look at the top 3 cards of his library. You can reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. The rest go onto the bottom of his library in any order. And it's got the standard Werewolf, beginning of each upkeep, if no spells are cast, transform it thing. That's fine. For our part, well, let's see here. We can cast the Free Blade, or we can Reeve Soul that. Let's get the Free Blade in play, just in case he decides to swing and doesn't have a follow-up creature. If that's the case, we can renown the Free Blade and then Reeve the other thing later. He does not attack. Instead, he casts the Nahiri's Machinations. 2-cost enchantment at the beginning of combat. On your turn, target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. Oh, that's just wrong. So, what's going to happen is we're going to Reeve Soul that just as soon as possible. We draw into a Forsaken Sanctuary, which we are going to go ahead and play. Reeve Soul this. And attack. It turns our Free Blade into a 3/3. And red-white tap land from our opponent, and nothing else. We get another Reeve Soul. Think there's anything we necessarily need to do pre-combat? Nope. So let's go ahead and attack. Our opponent's at 15, we're still at 20. Not much doing from the other side of the board, so let's go ahead and play the Knight of the Pilgrim's Road. Really start pressuring our opponent. Okay, we get a Cult of the Waxing Moon. 5 cost, 5/4. Whenever a permanent you control transforms, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. Alright. And I'm thinking that's going to get reprisaled. Like right now. Let's go ahead and swing for 6. And let's go ahead and play the Avon. That should set us up pretty good. Here comes a Yavimaya worm. 6 cost, 6/4 with trample. Definitely not anything we're going to get hit by too many times in a row. We draw into another free blade. Fortunately, the removal that we have we can't use just yet. So we'll go ahead and play the other free blade. I don't think there's any way we can kill him this turn. Even if we attack with everything, he's going to block the 4/3. Only 4 will get through. That'll put him down to 5. So we'll have to go ahead and wait. I'm guessing he's going to attack with the worm. In which case, we will go ahead and pay the awaken cost on the sheer drop and animate or awaken one of our lands. Let's find out, though, for sure. Here comes the Sage of Ancient Lore. 5 cost, 3/3. Power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. Sage of Lore enters the battlefield, draw a card. Beginning of each upkeep, if no spells are cast, transform Sage of Lore Ancient. Or Sage of Ancient Lore. Okay. Not too concerned. No attack. Instead, he plays a Hinterland Logger. 2 cost, 2/1, Human Werewolf. Guess he wants the 6/4 there as a deterrent. That's fine. We draw into a Malakir Coolblade. We've seen that before. Nothing untapped, nothing. Well, we can Reave Soul. But let's get this in play first. Which is the bigger nuisance? Okay, how much do we have here? 3, 4... 6. Let's go ahead and attack with the Avon. I don't know why it's not renowned yet, but now it is. Let's see what happens. It was a Duskwatch Recruiter. We've seen this before. Alright. Our opponent pulls the Thraben Gargoyle. 1 cost, 2/2, Defender, 6 transform it into a Stonewing Antagonizer, which I'm guessing is slightly nastier and more offensive. Here comes Navison's Judgment. 2-cost sorcery, Madness, X with red. Navison's does 2 damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures you're playing. Madness cost deals X damage. Okay, so we just got rid of our other free blade. And we draw into Patron of the Valiant, which we saw from last game, I believe. 5-drop 4/4, and enters the battlefield. Put a +1 counter on each creature you control with a +1 counter on it. Let's do this. And I think that's enough to ruin our opponent's entire day. Let's find out for sure. Okay, we should be set up. And what's the play here? Opponent goes ahead and flips the gargoyle. It's now a 4/2 flyer. Alright, that's nice. We draw into a Blood Bond Vampire, which we saw before, I believe. Let's go ahead and attack with everything again. We've got 4 creatures to his 2. No matter how you do the math here, I think that comes out to more than 5. Well, yeah, more than 5 damage. No, I didn't want to do that. Oh, crud. Wrong button. Well, let's go ahead and get the vampire in play anyway. Here's a Yavimaya worm. Not a fatal error on our part, I hope, but... or my part, I guess I should say, but... I guess we'll find out. He's got 3 creatures to our 5. Least he can take is 6. So I think we win regardless. This time, let's actually hit the right button. Alright. And that's game. Alright. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me. This is Dartt, and if you like what you see, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment below, and good luck and have fun in all the games you play. Take care, everybody.